All right. Welcome everybody to the Beehive. It's Wednesday, July 22nd, and we're 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we're on the third episode of the Beehive. So it's a live streaming feedback show where we unbox initiatives, harvest expertise, recultivate ideas to pollinate change. So what is the Beehive? The Beehive is an initiative that we started only 2, 3 weeks ago, where essentially the goal is to present eco initiatives by local projects, local initiatives that have an impact on the environment. And the best part about it is that you, the community, can give live feedback to those presenters. So, who are we? Let's see who is here today. We are MtlGreen. For those that are joining us for the first time, MtlGreen is a locally based enterprise or a community based group in Montreal that their goal is to encourage, support, and put in contact local citizens with green entrepreneurs in order to make a positive impact on projects and various things that help the environment in our local community. So today we have a few guests with us today on video with us. So we have Theo van Brambant, who is a sustainability strategist. Hello to Theo. We have Omer Juma, who is a sustainability learning designer at McGill University. Hey, Omer. We also have Christy Heyman, who is pursuing data science at University of Waterloo and has an interest in sustainability. We have myself, Monica Pototsky, your host for today, where essentially I work on the environmental management system and programs engagement at Bell Canada, but we're all engaged in part of MtlGreen. But the most important ones with us today and tonight is David Thibodeau, co-founder of Stoles. So you'll hear more about him. So hi, David. And we have also Mark Schall, which is the co-founder of Bello Solutions, also an initiative to present to you guys today. So without further ado, on the Beehive, I'll let you know what are the game rules, because it's really an interactive approach. It's not just us presenting to you, but you have a chance to give us some feedback. So we'll have the two presenters go one by one to present their initiative, and they'll have 6 minutes to pitch their project. Once they're done, you'll have 3 rounds to comment on various types of feedback. You'll have the general feedback, your strengths, and what is to improve. So everyone will have a chance to comment. Those who are looking at us live on Facebook, you can comment with those initiatives in the comments once we get there. But without further ado, let's begin with our first presentation, which is a zero emissions delivery service by the not least David Thibodeau, the co-founder of Souls that we have today, and they'll be able to show us more information about their great initiative that you can support. So David, welcome to the Beehive tonight. All right, perfect. So without further ado, we're giving David 6 minutes to hear his feedback. And once he's done, then it's your turn to help us support him. So David, the floor is yours.
Okay, I hope you understand me well. Is the connection good, Monica?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, and I think the screen is not working, so I'll go just without without the screen sharing, right? So yeah, how do I describe my project in 5 minutes? So, like Monica said, we have been working since the start of the pandemic on a project to make parcel deliveries in Montreal more cheap more effective and more environmental friendly, actually. As you may have noticed, this year parcel deliveries have increased everywhere in the world, especially in Montreal, and especially for local stores. Local stores are now shipping stuff.
Oh, we might have lost David for a second, but he's reconnecting. All right, guys, that's what happens when you want to be in nature and you want to connect with the sustainable Mother Earth. But no worries, we have David back online to keep going. So no worries, David, if you want to restart, it's up to you.
So as you may have noticed, parcel deliveries have increased greatly locally in Montreal, and still it's happening with by trucks, mostly with Post Canada or Purificator or FedEx. And
All right, guys, we'll get David to hear him in just a few moments. So David, keep going. No worries. You're very handsome, but even if you turn off your camera, we'll still you'll have our full attention. Okay, so guys, let's do a quick change of plan. We're gonna put David a bit on hold for now, and let's move forward with our second presenter until we get things back connected. So we'll move on with the second presentation. We'll go back to David as this in the second round. So let's start with Mark Schall. So Mark Schall is the co-founder at Bello Solutions. So it's a zero waste water filtering system. You want to hear more about it? It's not just about getting hydrated, but there's even more to it. So without further ado, I'd like to leave the floor to Mark to present us his presentation for the next 6 minutes. Go ahead, Mark.
Okay, do you hear me? It's fine? Okay. So
Yeah,
thank you,
we
Monica,
hear you.
for my introduction. It's not a filter, it's a purificator. It's different. So my name is Mark. I'm the co-founder of Bello Solution. We created Bello about a year ago with a simple objective, is to create healthy and personalized water at home without using plastic bottles. So we started the project because we was constantly frustrated to constantly have to choose between the tap water that is often contaminated, that have a poor taste, we don't know what we drink, and the water bottle that are safe, but also very expensive and unsustainable. And finally, we have the filtration system, but they are not reliable. We have to change the filter really often, and we need to be sure that we change these filters. And at the end, it's not like the bottles. So what are the alternatives? That's the question today. And so we answer it with the Bello Home. So we created the first water dispenser that is able to purify the tap water into a completely pure water with our technology of distillation and And the second step, personalize it with minerals, flavors, or vitamins without using plastics. That's the goal. So how it works in really two simple steps. So two steps, basically like coffee machine. So you fill your water tank by the side. We distill it, which means that we evaporate the water and left the contaminants, all the contaminants behind. We condense this pure water, and so we have the base to be able to personalize the water. So enhance the water with essential minerals, vitamins, or flavors. We use cartridges like capsules of an espresso, for example, that you can insert in the machine. 3 cartridges at the same time in the machine, so you don't have to switch all the time when you want to have different water. So let me explain you. So we can, as a capsules, we can do an infinity of variety of cartridges, which have different level of minerals, or flavors, or vitamins. So, for example, when you come back for a run, you can choose to drink water with a higher or very high level of minerals, so you can recover faster. Or when you are at work during the afternoon, you want a water with a little taste of lime and a little bit of caffeine. So we have a cartridge. We have a cartridge for that, and so you can be more productive. So that's really cool. That's the real revolution of the system, and it's also an ecological game changer because with every cartridges of 200 milliliters, we can create 100 liter of purified water. So that means that you can save at least 100 bottles for each cartridges. So it's kind of like a game changer for that. And also you're gonna say, okay, it's take energy to distill the water, but still 1 kilo watts per hour is like 0.5 grams of CO2 for our machine, and for bottle is like 160 grams of CO2. So it's a huge difference. Finally, a quick word for the business model. It's like the Nespresso for water. We make like a nominal margin with the machine and create recurring revenues with the cartridges that have a higher margin. So today we just finished our first prototype, the proof of concept, and signed key partnership with laboratory for making the formulation of the different cartridges, and companies of product development. And today we really focused on our second step, the milestone 1, that is to finish the functional prototype, go through the certification and the IP. So it is a quick presentation of our first prototype that we 3D printed. And so if you want to remove the plastic bottles with us and also change the water industry, feel free to ask as many questions you want and to follow us. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, Mark. Great presentation, super great initiative that I think many people can relate to. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it. So without further ado, now Mark is on the B seat, and the Beehive can buzz and give comments to Mark and to Bello Solutions. So the first round at the Beehive feedback show is to give the hashtag. So in a few words, you just have to write, what did you understand of the presentation? So we'll do a quick roundtable to our jury here at the Beehive on video. Meanwhile, those who are listening to us live, you can write the same format, use a hashtag, what did you understand of the show, of the presentation, and then we'll go to the other 2 rounds of feedback. So let's begin with Theo. What would be your hashtag? Awesome. How about Christy? Oh, Christy, you're on mute.
Pardon me, everyone. Very original, especially to address such a very serious problem.
All right, nice to hear. How about next? Let's ask Omar.
So I have a couple of hashtags or first impressions. What I heard was sort of personalization of your water, basically. So personalized water. The second hashtag would be sort of changing the water industry. Those were the two overarching themes that I heard.
Amazing. How about David? Let's hear from your end as well.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think my connection is good enough.
We hear
just skip
you.
me,
Hear you.
Monica.
All right, that's fine too. And from my end, I would say it's really beyond water. It's water with benefits without feeling guilty. That's my hashtag. All right. Also have to keep in mind there's a short delay with what we see on the live, so we might get comments as we continue. So it's fine if you think of something, simply write it down and we'll gather your comments. So the second round of feedback now is the honey. So what was your favorite part? What is the strengths? What are the highlights, the hearts of the presentation? So for those who want to comment on the live show, you can put a heart or a honey and write in just simple words what were the strengths, what were the most valuable elements. So in the meanwhile, let's do again the table turn. So Theo, what is your honey for Mark? Very nice, Theo. Now let's hear from Christy.
Theo actually stole my thunder, so. But really, I think I'm a visual person, so actually having this your presentation really helped me understand your process. The prototype, especially with the prototype, that was very, very helpful for me to understand.
Amazing. Thank you, Christy. Now let's hear from Omar.
I would second Christy's point about the visuals. Anytime you're talking about a new technology, it's great to have visuals about how it would work. So kudos to you on that. Something that you mentioned towards the end, I think that can be highlighted earlier, which is that it's 3D printed. Right, I really loved that point. The other thing was different flavors. I'm actually drinking mint water right now, so this solution would be excellent for me to bring flavor.
Good.
Very cool. I love those insights. And we also have myself. So the strengths I find is that it's very oriented on multiple benefits. So there's not only a nutritional value, there's even like stimulating, the senses. It's also environmentally friendly. It's innovative. It's recycled as well. It has the component, the 3D, the innovation, the technology. I think there's multiple strengths here. So great feedback here from the round. And now let's read some elements from the crowd here that are commenting on the live video. So we have Matthew here that really likes the 3D printed aspect, which I think is definitely something that differentiates you guys from other types of products. And we have Sam here who's saying that the slides were very clear, very great presentation. So kudos if ever you're looking for funding and things like that, you'll definitely find some advantages there. So good job on that, Mark. So now let's move to the third round of comments and feedback, which is the sting. So we love our bees, we love their honey, but they can also give some feedback that hurts at first, but that'll make you a better person. So let's hear what we call the delta. So you guys can use delta, which is what would you change? What would you improve? What did you not understand? And what could Bello's solution work on? Or if you have any ideas, it's our time to comment. So again, you can write comments on the live show. In the meanwhile, we'll do a roundtable again for the sting, the delta. So let's hear from Theo. Excellent, Theo. Great feedback there. Now let's hear a little bit more from Christy.
Actually, I'm going to take it from, I'm going to tag along with what Taylor said, just more from the consumer side. What's the scalability for for homeowners about the product, about the affordability of the project, the scalability, about the production. But other than that, excellent presentation. Excellent presentation.
All right. Thanks, Christy. Now let's hear what is the sting from Omer.
So I have a couple of constructive things. One I would say is I would have liked to know how much time does it take to filter through, because I've had a jug. We all know that company that sells those jugs, and it takes a while. So if I'm thirsty, I would want water faster. So that's something that I would like to know. Second was, are the cartridges recyclable or biodegradable? And what's the content inside the cartridges as well? That's always my concern looking at those jugs that already exist. The third sort of an overarching thing would be, you closed your presentation saying that it's you're trying to change the system or the water industry. And in the beginning of your presentation, you said that it's sort of purifying the water coming out of the tap. So if you really look at the holistic perspective, zoom out, the problem is you're trying to solve the tap water problem, right? There's the bottle issue, but there's also that tap water. So maybe there's another angle that can be taken to work with change agents in about how the water can actually be purified to the home taps as well, if that's a big concern that you're trying to tap into. But so be careful as to what system you're trying to solve issues in. And then, that would be my thing. Thank you.
Very great feedback there, Omer. Thanks for those multiple areas that you pointed out. I'll also give some things to Bello. So for me, I would echo a little bit what my peers just mentioned. It would be interesting to know the difference between other types of tap water filtering systems, right? So we know that buying that single-use plastic, most of the time we want to avoid that. So what's the difference, or what's really the risk, maybe through educating people? What's in the tap water in terms of pollution? How do we know that tap water contains all these chemicals, maybe leftover pesticides? I think you'd gather more of that market that is interested in that benefit to really push them to want to look for this solution. So otherwise, great job as well. And we also have some feedback from the audience listening to us live. So we have Matthew here, who mentions that he wants to understand a little bit more the 3D material. Where is it coming from? Is it coming from used water bottles, other materials? Is it recycled? And definitely could be used as a marketing angle there as well. So great comment there from the crowd as well. So we also have Samuel, who mentioned that it's not clear exactly what happens to the cartridges. And we do see today with solutions like Nespresso and all these like Tassimo, things like that, people want to use this sort of quick solution, but what happens to all that elements that we use once and not sure where it goes, where it came from? So great feedback here. So we did the whole round. So now is the time for Mark to answer some of those elements that we shared to him right now. So Mark, you have a few minutes to comment on any of those things that we heard tonight about your presentation.
Good. I like it. There's so much question. That's good. So if actually, yes, there are a lot of things that I didn't said. So I'm gonna start first with the technical part. So to answer Theo and Omar. So first, the dissolution technology is like basically we just heat the water, take this evaporate water, condense it, and put it to an inside tank. So we have 3 liters of pure water that are always ready. It takes approximately an hour to create one liter, 1 to 1.5 liter. Okay, so it's long. It's a long process. So that's I can say like that's the difference with a filter. A filter is more quick, but the huge difference is that it's content. I have a constancy. That means that the water quality is always the same, and I don't have to change the system, the whole system, so it don't create waste. That's the first thing. Of course, you have maintenance, but like it's exactly like your coffee machine. You have some time to have a maintenance, but it doesn't create waste. And it's cheap. When you have to change your filter, it costs money all the time. So that's the first thing. The second thing, it was more about the cartridges. So the cartridges, for the moment, we just fixed the bag in box. So which means like it's a bag of plastics. Of course, it's the only way to produce it. It's really expensive to create a full factory of your own type of. So for the moment, we focus on that. But the fact is, with 200 milliliters bag, so it's really small. We can create 100 liters of personalized water. That means we can save 100 water bottle, okay, with a little bag. So of course, there are always like a compromise for that. Second question, I don't remember all of them. For the 3D printing aspect, just like we have a 3D printer, so we just create our own prototype by ourselves with a 3D printer. But of course, at the end, we're not gonna 3D print the final product because it's too long. It takes a lot of energy to 3D print, so it's not an option that we're gonna take. Other question, what can I say more about that? About the minerals too. So the cartridge, you can personalize the level. One cartridge will be one formulation. So for example, if you want a water close to Evian, we can recreate a cartridge that is close to the composition of Evian with minerals. So we just add calcium, magnesium, zinc, those kind of minerals, and then natural flavors if you want. So it's really that we already validate that it works. So we actually can combine the pure water with those minerals. I don't know if I forgot a question or someone want to ask me some more.
That's really great, Mark. Thanks for sharing and adding the clarification.
The last one about the price. Forgot it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not important for the consumer. No, so for the moment we target a price around $300 for the machine. Okay, we really try to go. So we're really low tech. We try really to be basic and low tech, but with something that have a consistency and is really reliable. So it's gonna 300. That's our target, and for the cartridge, there's gonna be $10 to $20 per cartridge, which means that it's 10 times cheaper always than the price of the water bottle market. So if in the market, a lemon water bottle is on an average of $1, we always gonna be 10 times cheaper than this bottle. That's our target too. That's how we fix the thing.
Super interesting, Mark. We actually just got another question. If we could just use the minerals from our coffee machine and reuse those elements, or do the cartridges need to be the ones Bello provides?
No, of course, that's a strategy too. Like at the moment, we need to, when we say we want to be like the nominal margin with the machine. So we don't make a company work with a nominal margin. Okay, we need to find a way to create money at the moment and to be scalable too. So it's the cartridge is where we make the profit. So we have to secure that and to patent that the way we inject and the way we fix the cartridge in the machine to don't be able. But after you can always re-energize the water by adding your own like lime, your own minerals if you have like minerals. But us, we really try to be really precise on the level of minerals that you inject and to be able to give exactly what your body needs when like to adjust to your lifestyle. Okay, so if I have a cartridges for the sport, I have a cartridges when you wake up in the morning because you lose minerals when you sleep because you're sweating too. So it's always we really try to focus on this part too. So but you always can personalize your water. And I don't know if I have few more seconds or should I?
Sure. Last sentence to wrap up. Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna just share my screen and show you another slide quick. Okay, if I got it, maybe don't have it. But no, for example, what's the difference between the other purification system? So first, you have the water pitcher. It's pretty simple. It just remove the taste and couple of contaminants, but not a lot. Then you have more like the UV filter, so it kills the bacteria, the viruses, and usually it's with a carbon filter. That's a family, so it kills the viruses, so it's not bad. But actually, they did tests about the UV here in Montreal, and because they wanted to treat the water from the Saint Laurent with UV to kill the bacteria, and they found that all the fish was dead after the process. So they switched to another way to purify the ozone. So they inject ozone because like, so I don't think, I truly believe that it's not good for human too. And finally, you have the osmosis reverses, which is like the highest level of purification that exists in the world. And takes 3 liters of water to create 1 liter. So you have a lot of waste of water, and it's also a long process. And you have to change at least 5 filters to be able to. So it's a lot of waste, it's a lot of filters to change at home. People don't want that. You have to join it to the tap water to your evacuation. Like it's a lot of things that plumbing that we don't want to do.
Yeah.
So you just have to plug it to your electricity, fill your external tank, and that's it. And I think that's something that people want. They don't want to create crazy thing around change filter. So that's why.
That's super interesting insights, Mark. It's been a pleasure to have you with us tonight. So I hope people enjoyed your presentation as much as we did. Thank you for being with us with MtlGreen, and everyone can look up Bello Solutions. We'll add the link also to find Bello to stay in touch on their progress. Otherwise, for David and for Stoles, do not worry. We'll drag David out of the forest and bring him back in front of us on the next episode. So do not worry. You'll have a chance to hear what he has to offer to the world with his also amazing initiative. So we'll just reschedule him. And we had extra time today also to discuss on Mark's initiative. So that said, thank you everyone for joining the third Beehive show, seeing what great ideas are buzzing on the environment in your local city. And that said, stay tuned because there's way more to come. And don't forget, if you have an idea, an initiative, have a friend who wants to have that visibility, that feedback, you can go on our page and there's a form to fill out to be one of the next presenters on the Beehive. So welcome everybody to sign up and be a part of the change and pollinating the change of mindset towards sustainability. That said, thank you for a great audience, our great jury, our great presenters, and see you guys next time. Have a good evening. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.